Welcome to Enemy Planet.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Wednesday Balcony Thoughts with me, Prince Panda on Enemy Planet, and my cup of tea. So how are you people doing on this lovely afternoon? I myself have just been at a coffee shop running with my volunteer group, and I spent the last, I think, 2 hours reading my favourite book, Lady and the Monk, again. And it's a book that, even though I've read it a few times, and each time you read it, you see more. You see things that you missed the first time because it's so dense and drenched with these beautiful concepts and ideas and stories and soliloquies that it's very easy to oversee, like a lot of this stuff as you're traveling through the journey. But on your second, excuse me, I just poured hot tea into my lap. Yep, that hurt. What was I saying? That really hurts. That really hurts. So, on your second way through, you'll often see things you didn't see the first time. But even if I get something different out of the book each time I read it, I always have the same sense every time I do, that if I properly sit down and read it for a while, I just feel refreshed. My eyes, my mind, and my soul all suddenly start seeing the world again. I don't know if purely is the right word, but certainly with a renewed sense of excitement. And there's reasons for this. It's because the guy that wrote the book, Hector Iron, is not only a genius, and I'm pretty sure he is a genius, but more importantly, the way he sees the world is so beautiful. And after a while of seeing the world through his eyes, you start seeing it the same way. And on the way back, I actually in my head was starting to write a new poem that I hope to actually hammer out and finish tonight. Because of this inspiration that I was left with after reading his book again. Well, I haven't finished it, I'm just halfway through for the third time. And it's great that literature can do that. I suppose you could find that kind of inspiration in any medium of any art. For some people it might be a painting, for some people it might be a song. For me it's this book. And it never fails to impress, never fails to light me in different ways. So I'm really glad to have found it. And I kind of find myself a little bit more each time I read it. And it certainly not only reminds me of things that are already within me, but really makes me curious and hungry to learn more about the world and to read more and to create more, which I think is the purest form of inspiration, wanting to just learn more about everything. You should really read the book, it's really good. My lap is still burning quite badly from all the tea. I just made this cup of tea, so it was piping hot. So the inspiration that I get from this book, sometimes it can inspire me to do something as simple as stare off my balcony and just watch people for a while, but with a renewed sense of, I suppose, artistic freedom and my wish to capture the fleeting moments and experience them simultaneously. But one of the thoughts that I was having after I read was, he said something, what did he say? He said, he's talking about Zen, because the book, is about Kyoto and Japan and Zen, and he says, one does not find God in renouncing the world, but instead in finding God in the world. So instead of shutting yourself off to be one with God, you realize that everything is God. And looking around, I can see the artwork and the mundane and the everything, and the tapestry of people that carry with them their entire lives. Often watching strangers on a street, I would say to myself, superficial things, not realizing that each one of those people contains within them an entire world, an entire life, thoughts and ideas, and so many different perspectives on the world floating out there, so many different cultures and languages, that the world is a work of art, really. So is tea. I'm trying to get hired. There's this place in town called T2. They make a whole lot of teas. It's just like walls of teas and teapots. I really want to get hired there because, God, I love tea. So, okay, something you may not know about me is I am a recovering alcoholic. I've been struggling with this the last couple of months. I realized after, I was drinking a lot, but I always kind of told myself it was because, I'm young and I'm just partying and everyone does this kind of thing. And then when I was thinking to myself, you get drunk almost every day. That's not good. Sometimes I was even waking up with a glass of wine, which I don't recommend. And so I thought, it's bad for your health. It can be as bad as smoking, sometimes worse than smoking. If you drink every day, it's actually worse for your health than smoking. So I thought I should stop drinking, and I tried and I failed, and I struggled with this for a long time until I discovered herbal tea. And what works for me is every time I want to drink, I have a herbal tea instead. It's kind of hard for me to admit this. Only a few people in my life really know the truth about this. But I'm doing really well at this point. And my friend Hamish has told me that if I make it to 3 months sober, the last time I drank was New Year's. And I kind of hate myself for doing that, but on and upwards kind of thing. Keep moving forward, I guess. My friend Hamish said if I can make 3 months sober, he'll buy me dinner, which is lovely. So that's kind of given me something to move towards. I've been sober now for about 2 months, and it hasn't been easy at all. And it is difficult for me to talk about this on camera, but I feel like it could be important, and maybe it needs to be said soon. That's why I'm kind of letting you know. Because I was from that kind of style of life. I was from that party and drink, and it was just a normal part of social interactions to get drunk. And then I started drinking by myself, and it's not good. I want to live healthily, especially I want to travel the world, and I want to meet people and get in adventures, and that's not going to happen if I get liver failure. So yeah, really trying to just live healthily, and the herbal tea works for me. It works for me. You got to find what works for you if you're trying to. And it's a new year. We're only 2 months into 2017. It's a new year. Oh, another great thing from the book. Trying to lead a life rather than being led by one. And when I read that today, I put the book down and just kind of stared out the window for a moment and really thought about the implications of that, leading a life rather than being led by one. And because there's that kind of connotation of a new year, of new beginnings, even though really it's an arbitrary point of, the machine on which we moderate and determine time, but that feeling of I want to change, or I want to create something, or this is what I'm going to do with my life, that's really important. So I hope that in 2017 you can lead your own life and lead it somewhere you want it to go. For me, it's I suppose my merits that I feel proud of most are my creative endeavors. So this year is really just based around creating things, writing and performing. Yeah. So 2017, lead your life, and if you are struggling with something like I've been struggling with drinking, I really hope that you can combat that and overcome it. And of course, if you are, then feel free to let me know, and I'll see if I can be there for you. Well, that's it's important to have that. And I also recommend tea, because tea is life. I think my favorite thing about tea, one of the things that got me started was, you look at the ingredient list for a drink a soda or something, and it's got dimethyl polysilo-coxin, color 342, riboflavin. You look at the ingredients for peppermint tea. Ingredients, peppermint. That's it. That's why I love it. Tea is life, and it interests me because it's tea is made from plants, dried herbs and stuff, and it's just delicious water, basically. It's good for you. That's another like thing that I love about Japan. The food and the cuisine, and they really make it an art form, and like the philosophy of food in Japan is not so much to take an ingredient and change it so it's delicious. It's to take an ingredient and bring out its natural deliciousness, not to change it, but to make it as it was supposed to be, I guess, if it was supposed to be. I don't know. So, I've been going on for a bit of a while now, and I'm trying to make these videos shorter, because I do have a tendency to lose the point and kind of waffle for a bit. Waffles are good. So I guess the takeaway from this: find something that inspires you and keep it close to you. For me, it's the book Lady and the Monk. And remember that you can always see the world through different eyes, and there's always more to experience out there. You've never seen it all. Whether it be a new restaurant, or you go to the library for the first time in a while, there's always more to experience. There's always something out there for you. So try and be inspired and keep that inspiration close, because being a light with the pursuit of knowledge or wisdom or art, or trying to better yourself is integral to life, and it can make it really worth living. And also, in 2017, if you're struggling with something, take it head on and combat that. And let's pull each other up as well. If you know someone that's struggling, give them a hand, because we're all here together sharing this world, and we can make it a beautiful, wonderful place, but it requires us to do so. And read Lady and the Monk by Pick a Wire. I'd love to hear what you think about that book, because it's actually my mum's birthday soon. I'm thinking about buying her a copy. So, thanks guys for watching. I'm going to have another cup of tea after I finish this one, and maybe watch some poker and write that poem that I started in my head. So thanks for watching, everyone. Love you guys. 2017, make it your year. And watch my other videos, and like and subscribe. And watch Tokidoki Traveler, because we love her. Alright, goodbye guys.